Tonight on Beyond the Headlines, as Nigeria inches closer to 2027, political structures are quietly being activated. We're seeing alliances strengthened and grassroots machinery recalibrated. In the Southwest, one of the most visible mobilization platforms backing President Tinubu's second-term ambition, the Renewed Hope Ambassadors have just deepened their footprint with inaugurations across Lagos, Oyo, and other places. At the center of this mobilization drive is a former minister, former senator, and now chairman of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Senator Adeyeye. He's not just defending this administration, he's organizing for its future as Southwest Zonal Coordinator of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors and previously the arrowhead of Swagger, the movement that helped midwife Bola Tinubu's 2023 presidential bid. Is boldly predicted a landslide victory in 2027. But tonight, beyond mobilization slogans, we ask the hard questions. Is it not too early to campaign? Is the economy delivering renewed hope indeed? And has security improved or worsened under this administration? What does the Senate's dramatic shift on electronic transmission really mean for the credibility of the next election? Joining me tonight is Senator Adeyeye, chairman of the Nigerian Ports Authority and Southwest Zonal Coordinator of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors. Senator Adeyeye joins me on the program this evening. You are inaugurating coordinators across local governments, and we just saw one happen in Lagos State earlier today. And the central point is telling Nigerians what this government has done for their good in the past 3-4 years. But what critics are saying is that the campaign window officially has not opened. How do you address that concern? How do you respond, rather, to critics who say these Renewed Hope Ambassadors amount to premature campaigning? And I'm wondering where you draw the line between political mobilization and violating the spirit of the electoral timetable. Well,
could be a disagreement.
Two voices, two views, standing apart.
Or an argument.
A battle to win, to prove, or to conquer.
Both are born from differences. One can open the door to respect.
Sound, are you ready?
And the other close it with fire. Two perspectives, but one big issue.
Are you good?
Yes, I'm good to go. So do we...
Senator Adeyeye is chairman of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Southwest Zonal Coordinator of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors. Thank you for joining us on the program this evening. Interesting conversations with these Renewed Hope Ambassadors. Perhaps you can help us understand what it means, and especially where you draw the line between political mobilization and violating the spirit of the electoral timetable.
Hello?
Senator, can you hear me?
Hello?
I can hear you distinguished.
Okay, I didn't get you very well.
Okay, I'm asking that if you can help us understand how these Renewed Hope Ambassadors do not violate the very spirit of the electoral timetable, because officially it's not yet time for campaign, right?
Oh, yes. Well, of course, it doesn't violate the official timetable from INEC. This is not a campaign. Everybody has the right to associate at any point in time or the other. We are calling Renewed Hope Ambassadors. We didn't say they are campaign managers. They are merely ambassadors of the president in their various local governments, in their states, in their wards, in their at the zonal level and at the national level. They are merely to represent the president and to present his programs and propagate his policies for better understanding by the people of Nigeria. That's what they are doing, and you are free to say that at any point in time. At any point in time, that's why you campaign. That is not a violation of the INEC timetable for campaigns and for campaigns. So everything we are doing is within the law.
So you're saying their duty is to show the people what the president has done. You know, your critics are saying that if it's that evident, why do you need ambassadors to tell what is evident?
Well, even if a thing is evident, you still need to let the to articulate it to the people. Yes, of course. We keep on. Are you saying that you have a product that is very good? You don't need to market it and sell it to the people. You don't need to let people know the benefits of that particular product. And of course, you still need to let people know the benefits of that particular product and how that program is going to affect people's life positively. So all that we are doing as ambassadors is to take the message of the president to the grassroots. Even all the media outfits in Nigeria, the social media, they are not enough to take this message to every nook and cranny of Nigeria. So the role of ambassadors are to propagate the message of the president, the policies, the programs, the achievements of the administration at the grassroots level. That is exactly what the role of ambassadors are set up to do.
You know that the Southwest was the president's base in 2023, but we saw some cracks. He lost in Lagos, in Osun, and especially the Lagos development was quite surprising. You were also coordinator of Swagger for the Southwest at the time. What lessons were learned and what do you think really happened?
We have learned our lessons, but most importantly, you know, the last election was a particularly difficult one for us. We had both external and internal sabotage. Our campaign was virtually suffocated, both internally and outside and externally. Now, Nigerians have seen President Bola Ahmed Tinubu operate in almost 3 years. They have seen that what we were telling them when we started Swagger, it's actually true that the man is going to perform excellently well for the good of Nigeria. He took Nigeria from the brink. Nigeria was going to the abyss. It was going to collapse completely. This man took Nigeria from the abyss, from the brink, and brought us to a level where we can now say that Nigeria finally is on the path of real progress, of real development. Because what we have been doing was like a barber's chair, circling around the same area. But now we are really on the move towards real development. So, Nigerians have seen it. They have seen his excellent performance. They have seen the courage he has brought into governance. They have seen the sincerity of his purpose. They have seen the brilliance in his policies. So, it's not going to be a difficult thing anymore. While it was a bit tough for us to really market him at that point in time due to this suffocation from within and outside. This time around, we have very little job to do actually, and we believe that we are going to have maximum results. The president is going to win handsomely in Lagos, in Osun, where he lost the last time, and even the percentage of victory in these places will be extremely high this time around. And in fact, I would say that will also be the situation in all the states of Nigeria, because Nigerians have seen good governance for the first time in so many decades.
Precisely, what indices, Senator, are you using to measure this performance? Because again, you're publicly predicting a landslide victory for President Tinubu in 2027. I think you lost your talk back there. You have publicly predicted a landslide victory for the president come 2027. But I'm asking what concrete indicators you are basing that confidence on. Is it economic data, political realignments like we've seen many of your colleagues from the other side joining the APC, or is it grassroots intelligence? What really are you measuring this confidence by?
All of the things we have mentioned, I will say all of the above. All the things we have mentioned, economic realities. Look at the economic indices. Where will I start from? The achievements are so many that we don't even know where to start from. In terms of, look at it, we now have exchange rate stability. We are no longer paying fuel subsidies, which was consuming more than $10 billion every year. Those resources are now being used to develop our infrastructure and to improve the life of Nigerians. We have in the educational sector, in the last, since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in, the perennial issue of ASU strikes, of union problems in the universities have come to an end. You can see the way, the maturity with which the ASU issue was easily resolved late last year and early this year. And you see the introduction of net fund for students to take care of indigent students' needs in the tertiary institutions. You have seen massive infrastructural development all over the country. The coastal road, which is close to your station in Lagos, is an example. That's a mammoth project. That is a project I will call the eighth wonder of the world. Because by the time that project is completed, will not see an equivalent of it anywhere in Africa. Okay, you have seen the Lagos in the airport that is being redeveloped. Okay. Where are we stopping? Even where I am as the chairman of MPA, you have seen a modernization of the port that is going to take place, which is starting very soon. And you see road infrastructure crisscrossing the whole country, north to south, west to east. These things have never happened in Nigeria before. And that is in the area of economy, and I can't even finish with it because there are so many issues.
Let us stay with the economy for a minute.
Let me even go. And it is yes.
Because the popular narrative from government is that the economy has turned the corner. They say the inflation is reducing and the naira is recovering, just like you mentioned. But what the opposition is saying is that the opposition is weighing food prices and cost of living today with what it was in 2023. And they say Nigerians can relate. You know, they are saying that Nigerians can relate to how much they buy fuel and buy food items in 2023 relative to what the cost is today. How do you intend to react to that?
Only more or less a voodoo economy at that point in time. It was something that was not sustainable. And the opposition that are now saying that Nigerians should compare the standard of living at that time with what it is now, they realized the problem, and all of them said in their manifestos, in their campaign promises, they said they were going to end the fuel subsidy. They said they were going to harmonize the fuel exchange rate. Now that they are in opposition, they lost the election, they are singing another tune. But the reality is that we were on the brink. We were, like I said before, we were going to collapse into the abyss. But the president pushed us from the brink and set Nigeria on the right path. This is real economy. Nigeria is now experiencing the real economy. I mean, we are now living within our means. At that time, we were living on borrowed money that was not sustainable. In fact, that has come to a halt because by the time President Buhari was going, the fuel subsidy, there was no money to even pay for the fuel subsidy anyway. So my simple answer to them is that whereas this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the courage to follow up with his promises, they have shaken out simply because they did not win in 2023. And that means they are very dishonest with Nigerians. What they were saying, they didn't mean it, or even if they meant it, now that they're in opposition, they should stick with their policies. But they are shifting grants. And these are not the kind of people you can trust with leadership.
Let us touch on security for a minute, because you have suggested that some security challenges we are faced with today are being orchestrated to discredit the government. That's a serious claim, Senator Adeyeye. What evidence supports that assertion?
Because you see, if people make that claim, it is because of the reaction that we always see from the opposition when such unfortunate incidences happen. They seem to jubilate about the misfortune of their fellow citizens. They seem to capitalize on, they seem to make political capital out of it. So naturally, any reasonable person will deduce that maybe these people are even among the sponsors of this insurgency and the banditry. Because why is it that they always want to capitalize on it politically? So I won't blame anybody who made that kind of categorical assertion. But the truth of the matter is that we are fighting this war, and like the president said, and I believe him, because he's a man of his word, we are going to defeat insurgency. We are going to defeat terrorism. We are going to defeat banditry. And Nigeria will be peaceful. And all Nigerians will be able to live their lives peacefully, fully assured that their lives and their property are secured. So for the opposition, I think it's a bad time for them. You can imagine the other time, they thought that the American campaign that there was Christian genocide in Nigeria, genocide against Christians in Nigeria, was going to be against the government. But you can see the dramatic savvy, the kind of diplomacy that the president played that turned the situation around so much so that what America that was supposed to be an adversary is now cooperating with Nigeria to fight insurgency.
Isn't there a danger, though, in framing insecurity as political sabotage when citizens are genuinely unsafe? When you consider, for instance, the issues of banditry to kidnapping and regional tensions, I'm wondering how you personally and objectively score the Tinubu administration in the area of security.
I will score the president high. I will score him very, very high in the area of security. But when he came in, Boko Haram was occupying substantial area in the northeast. Banditry was at higher level in the northwest and in the north central. You don't forget that even at that point in time, even before the president was sworn in, there was genocide when people went into a church and were massacred people, and so many other incidences were happening at that point in time. There is a marked reduction in these incidences of banditry and terrorism. That is a situation, but we don't have a perfect situation right now. But we are working towards it, and I believe that we are going to succeed because the president is doing everything possible to make sure that Nigerians live in peace without any problem of kidnapping, of terrorism or banditry. So we are working towards that, and we are receiving the cooperation of the international community. Once upon a time, even America and other Western powers will not sell arms to us. But now, on their own, they are sending us weapons with which we can fight, weapons and other materials by which we can fight fight terrorism. So it is a turnaround for us, even in terms of international support. And we believe that the problem, by the grace of God, will be a thing of the past. So I score the president very high. He's doing everything possible. You can see more recruitment coming into the armed forces, a increased number of people being authorized to be recruited into the police, into other security agencies, the creation of the forest guards. I believe with all these things, when they fully come on, when all these things fully mature, this policy is fully mature, it will be a very tough day for the enemies of the country.
Let us touch on the issue of electronic transmission of results in real time, a conversation that has dominated topics at the Senate. This transmission is now subject to availability of network with Form EC8A as fallback. The opposition doesn't like it. They say it's creating a loophole that undermines real-time transparency. How do you respond to the perception that the APC is not comfortable with unconditional real-time transmission ahead of elections in 2027?
I just laugh at that. I'm really amused. Does anybody really genuinely think that we're afraid of the coming elections? We are super confident that we are going to win in a landslide. The president is going to win in a landslide. No doubt about that. Where is the opposition? Where are the opponents? I can't find them or defeat. We are busy propagating the policies of the president. These people are still trying to build their coalition, the coalition that is already dead on arrival. So I can't even find opposition. So why should we be afraid? Well, nobody is afraid. But whereas they are looking for chaos, they want chaos in Nigeria. They want reasons to they want ways by which they can justify their defeat in next year's election. That's why they are honestly playing undue emphasis on the issue of transmission of election results at the polling units real time. And there's no issue to it at all. We know the problems we have in this country in terms of coverage, internet coverage. We know the problem we have in terms of electricity supply. Are they not Nigerians? They know these problems are real and are everywhere. So what the Senate and the National Assembly have passed is simply to say, okay, there should be transmission in real time. But where this is not possible due to all the problems that we all know exist in this country, then of course the coalition and the units whereby the forms are completed and signed by all agents should be a backup for that. What is wrong in that? Unless we want chaos, unless we want anarchy. Because even you, Nifemi, you know that even you sometimes experience internet shutouts from time to time, whereas you are in the center of Lagos. Not to talk of people who are in Kaura and Moda.
All of these issues,
in
Senator,
one village in my state in Ekiti,
appear to drive us back to the quality of governance under this administration, don't they? You talked about electricity. You talked about us back to it.
You can't solve all the problems that have been existing from colonial times in one day. The president has been tackling this problem, but they cannot be eradicated. They cannot be eliminated. This problem cannot be solved in one day. We are doing it gradually. The president is not a magician. Nigeria had electricity problem for how many since independence? So you want it to be solved in those 2-3 years? That's not possible. But we are on the way to it. And then the issue of internet coverage is not only a problem with Nigeria. I was recently abroad and I saw even the internet shut out, even in the United States of America, in the place where I was. So this is a thing that is worldwide, and it's not a reflection of the fact that the government is not doing enough. So, but those who are anarchists, who want chaos, who want problem at all costs, who are afraid of the election themselves, who know that they are going to be defeated, they are the ones who are putting unnecessary emphasis on the issue of electronic transmission of results. So it's not a problem for us at all. We are not afraid of the election. Bring any method of coalition, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win handsomely. I can't even see the opponent. I can't see them.
Sen Adeyeye, we're completely out of time. Chairman, Nigerian Ports Authority, Southwest Zonal Coordinator for the Renewed Hope Ambassadors, thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening.